Neil, have you been following the? I mean, obviously, you've been following the top four.
I think you need to mute the stream.
Yeah, I put it on my phone, so now I need to mute it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Why did they both host a game? What is happening here?
Seems like just general confusion.
This is just not a very hard thing to accomplish.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. That being said, when I was the U.S. Dragon, I fucked it up consistently.
Yeah, but like they're both sitting here in games waiting for each other. Like, I don't understand what's happening. All right, looks like Beck figured it out.
Maybe it was like a contest, see who budges first. You know.
I don't know, man.
Enegon just won the stare off.
Yeah. He just knew to chill. I think this is what, the third game of the top four. We had Pugin's game, we had Dan's game, and then this one.
Yeah, and currently Canada's leading 1-0.
Sure, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Although I think that this in general, I found that Phoenix has a good crab matchup.
I mean, yeah, that was true prior to the RL, and I think
Been enhanced sort of.
all you have to do is not get away with the crab, then you're fine.
Yeah. How many way the crabs does Enegon run?
It should be 3. Oh no, sorry. This is a tower deck, so he's only playing 1, so it's actually a lot easier.
Yeah, because we've been testing against the Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish list has none.
Yeah.
And it makes playing Phoenix way easier. You just get to buy like Student of the Tau with 3 Fate on turn 1.
I went into one of Froze games and he had a Student of the Tau with 4 Fate. And it's like, okay, guess this is happening.
Yeah, you just get to do that, or like buy Ujina on turn 1, or like hard pass into Tadaka. Like it lets you play completely different.
Yeah.
Not that Phoenix has a hard time playing around it because the small characters are so good.
Yeah.
But
like you also are running like you're also running Ancient Masters, which you need to take one for the team.
Yeah, exactly. Or like on turn 1, you can just buy two 1-drops and then like win favor, and then like once you have Centaur online, you feel a lot better.
For sure.
So things to keep track of are basically going to be how Beck uses his Lekos. So in matchups like this, when Crab was playing Tower before, the best way that I found to leverage my Lekos was to just use them on the reprieves.
Yeah.
And then set up a fires. So I think Enegon's RL card is Iron Mine. Oh no, it's not. It's what is it?
The Keepers.
It is indeed Keeper Initiate.
Yeah.
Silly me. How could I forget that the all-powerful Keeper Initiate was restricted?
That's odd to do keep. I mean,
I just thought it would be Iron Mine because if you're gonna be towering, you'd want more saves, right?
Yeah.
I guess Keeper Initiates do let you play Kyudenhita, whereas if you want to play Iron Mine, you do have to play Shiranoshiyama. And so maybe Enegon values the flexibility and the consistency of putting keepers in with Kyudenhita more than the chance to flip up Iron Mine.
And keepers help a lot more with like common cause and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And the Funeral Pyre. I'm surprised there's only one copy of Funeral Pyre for that, but yeah, for like Witch Hunter and Common Cause, they definitely help a lot.
Oh damn! Just going for the Hida Kasada.
Yeah, I mean, so this will be pretty telling if Beck just passes here. Whether or not he has Tadaka in his hand.
Yeah. Otherwise, he buys the Student of the Tau. I would just like slam some fate onto that guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm pretty happy actually just passing. Kasada actually gets blanked by by some of the provinces. Like Kasada has 2 provinces that he doesn't want to hit on turn 1, right? Like 50% to hit upholding or Seppuku Saito.
Wait, but you can just use box to burn Kasada. Give a
Sure,
fuck.
but like you don't actually have to do anything on turn 1, right? Like if you just naked pass, you go to 8, and then Kasada's 50% to hit a province that he doesn't want to.
I'm just saying for Kurimori, you do need to burn an action before you Kurimori.
I wasn't talking about Kurimori. I was talking about upholding authority.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Because Kurimori just stops him. I guess you can swap the ring, right? Like that's fine, but like it'll be on mill attack, so you would need to swap the conflict. So that he still gets the ring effect. I'm just saying there's literally two provinces that hitting them is just a pure negative.
Yeah. Do you think Enegon's gonna pass his second his second conflict? Looks like he's thinking about going Earth.
I don't know why you buy this Kasada if you're not planning on attacking.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you don't have Iron Mines. I mean, he does have the Vanguard Warrior there, but like you don't have Iron Mines. So we'll see. Hits shameful. So we're just gonna see Student of the Tau block. We're gonna see probably box activation or favorable ground get used as first action.
The ball.
Yep, there's Saito. And then
Yeah.
we'll just see Shameful Display get used, and then we'll see Student of the Tau send Kasada home.
Then I would actually consider favorable grounding out.
I wouldn't. What's the reason?
Well, then you get an attack, but I guess, and you can attack Earth. I guess this way you're ensuring.
Well, so like if you attack and then you also hit Shameful or Shameful Meditations and Upholding Authority are all hits that you don't want to hit.
I like this True Strike engine.
Well, so this forces the send home now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I would do.
Yeah, I would prioritize that over the Shameful.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, actually, it depends on my hand, right? Like, so I maybe maybe the status token is better than favor.
Yeah, because you can always send home Kasada
After he bows to you, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, an honored.
Honored student. I actually think I might Shameful here, especially if I have an Ancient Master.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Adorai. Without rebuild, the Iron Mines are more random, but they're still just a save, right?
They still just go towards the game plan, right? Like the game plan is the tower.
Yeah, so Beck does exactly what you said you would do. Burn a stand here? Probably not, right?
No, I wouldn't.
I would consider attacking Paul.
Yeah, but remember I just pointed out those 3 provinces you don't want to hit. Like your good hit is Manicure Garden.
Yeah.
Whereas if Student of the Tau hits Meditations, Upholding Authority, or Shameful Display, you're worse off than if you had not attacked. You know what I mean?
That's true. Then he has played the Ancient Masters just for the favor.
Yeah. So now the thing he can do on this turn is he can do his first attack with the Ancient Master and figure out what's where, right? Like that's like getting a scout attack there. I would have pitched both the Dreamers. I like getting cards in my discard pile for Tadaka.
Ooh, Lost Paper is not proccing here.
Double Lost Paper is not proccing.
Well, I mean, now you can buy the Shuba Yojimbo, and that's a pretty good buy, especially with a true strike on the field.
Goes for the Dreamer instead. I probably would have valued the Yojimbo more. I like leveraging things with the Yojimbo. Yojimbo protects you from provinces, defends your honor, and then like you said, the True Strike Kenjutsu.
Well, maybe Yojimbo is on like Sampuku Seido, and he's just not worried about it, so he can just buy it next turn.
I mean, the thing is, you don't want to be. You really do need to have these taking these turns off. I might have put only 1 fate on my Dreamer and then gone to 7 here, or yeah, it'd be 6. Sorry. So Enegon dupes here and probably buys Vanguard Warrior.
Yeah.
Vanguard Warrior is good protection against consumed by 5 fires, whereas if you buy the Witch Hunter, you expose yourself.
Wow, he does buy the. Then this is
like, this is just prime consumed by 5 fires territory here.
He has 5. I mean, if I was Beck, I would just consider just spending the 5 now.
Yeah, I would not obviously not do it in conflict. I would just consider doing it now and then just probably attack Earth.
Yeah.
You just don't need to get cute. And then all the any attachments that your opponent plays, you can just save all your Lycos for reprieves.
Yeah.
And your
100%.
opponent can only really get like they would need to have 2 reprieves, and Enegon would have to go for 2 rings of fate on them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they all have fate, so that's kind of a moot point. Obviously, he has to have the consume at 5 fires, right? I don't like attacking with my Dreamer first, so I would have put Dreamer on a different ring, and I would have sent my Ancient Master in first.
I agree with that.
I just like there's just too many hits that don't benefit me. Whereas so here's the thing: if you attack with Dreamer and you hit Upholding Authority, you're forced to do a bunch of hoops to not break it, right? Whereas the Ancient Master forces the ring with your opponent actually doing something.
Yeah. I agree. And I mean, I think that with this True Strike Kenjutsu, like whoever you send in, if it matters, is going to get bowed.
Yeah,
Because Dreamer
exactly.
is still 1. I agree with your play.
I mean that's one of the biggest reasons to fate the Ancient Master. Otherwise, I think I prefer I value the fate more than the body if I'm not planning on using it next turn, right? So he had the face of Dreamers, so he should have already thought of this line out at the end of last turn.
Yeah. And I
So
think
like,
that going, and I also probably would have gone Mill Earth with the Ancient Master because you're showing a lot of political strength.
well, I actually like going mill for another reason. If you mill Earth, you're if Enegon chooses to True Strike Kenjutsu to value or to do something and then leave, you still have force because of the mill favor.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, and you're completely right.
Because
Kind of,
Enegon has the favorable ground, right? Like, so Enegon could have potentially blocked the Ancient Master True Strike and then left, but with favor, you still force a defense.
I
So,
agree.
thing to note is the True Strike and Jutsu did not get used, so this favorable ground does represent some power here.
I assume that he's just going to steadfast witch hunter this. He's going to poke.
Yeah, so you just do mill with your envoy. I would probably do mill what?
Fire seems fine. Wow, he's going hard.
I don't know why I'm going fire here. Like if you had Saito here, you feel real dumb.
He just wants to dishonor this student of the Tao.
I don't value the firing that highly here.
Oh, he does hit. I would actually probably just block with the Ancient Master. So
You actually don't need to block at all.
you're right because it's not breaking.
Blocking with the Ancient Master does force action, so that's fine. I definitely would not block a student of the Tao, that's for sure.
If he wants to win this, he has to move Kasada in and bow him with.
Yeah, but then he's still too short of breaking because of the favorable ground plus favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Eric. Like this turn, if Enegon survives this turn without getting 5 fires, I like his chances at continuing the game. If he gets 5 fires this turn, like he's just in such a massive hole. Fire. I guess so. One nice thing about fire here is it is the best ring for your opponent to attack you back on. The other 3 rings are kind of medium, although I do value air ring against crab some.
Because
Because
he's running.
well, just lets you play into watch commander some.
Yeah.
Or also Beck's playing the list that I was playing, so he has 2 assassinations.
Kind of like, I mean, Void's not bad, right?
Well, the thing is, Void is not very good against you if you are gonna get 5 fires, right? That's the line.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, the IMS list play 2 consumed by 5 fires, Tomoya. So Kasada does get moved in here. I'm totally fine with all of this happening. I'm even fine with my student of the Tao getting fire ringed. I just like don't care.
Yeah.
The only thing I might care about is if Kasada gets turned off if you win, but like you still haven't burned his action to preempt this, so there's not much you can really do. Yeah, so if I'm Beck, I'm literally happy with moving through this turn with nothing happening.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the consumed.
Yeah, exactly. Eric giving us some quick maths with about 60% to have it if you ignore mulligans.
I assume that you don't mulligan for consumed by 5 fires.
It depends. I mean, I wouldn't keep it in my opener unless my dynasty flop had Ugina.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like if my opening flop reveal gave me like an Ugina setup, I would keep it because
I agree with you. I agree with that. And actually, so Beck only mulligan 3 cards from conflict deck. Wow. Okay.
Well, so Eric, I also don't like to, but the thing is, the matchup isn't won and lost on turn one. Like this isn't a matchup where getting a huge advantage or a huge tempo on turn one is really possible for either side. Crab has a hard time getting tempo over the provinces, and Phoenix just doesn't really want to do anything. So I don't mind having a single dead card in the early game because it's not like I need to. It's not like against a matchup where I know I need to be playing 7 out of my 9 cards or whatever.
Why is he attacking Sampu Basedo?
What? Crablist is on 3 reprieve, Tomoya. What conflict? Huh? He just wanted the fate, I guess, and this was a safe
Okay,
attack.
Okay.
Yep, there's the consumed.
Yeah. So
All right,
now
all
he
right, all
needs.
right, all right. Here's the question: how many reprieves does Enegon have, and how many Lekos does Beck have?
I assume that Enegon has at least. Okay, so he has at least one.
Well, if Kasada lives, he's not dead, because the Vanguard Warrior is face up here.
We already. Okay, he passes, so he only had 1 reprieve.
Sly Knight 24 has left the game. This. Oh man.
That says everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really
Eric,
tough.
he's pretty dead right now.
Yeah, so like the game is gonna go on for multiple turns, but this is this turn right here was the turn. That's why. So when we were talking about the beginning of this turn, instead of buying the Witch Hunter, I said he should have bought the Vanguard Warrior.
Yeah.
Because then you still have Fate in the bank, and you force your opponent to have a cloud on top of everything, right?
Gambled there on him not having consumed, but why? You know, like he didn't
Yeah,
gain
exactly. Eric saying 2 reprieve didn't tell him the secrets of having 2 reprieves, Kappa.
I'm glad that you're not bitter about that.
Why would I be better?
Didn't Eric lose to 2 reprieve guy?
Yeah, but I mean that matchup was impossible. That matchup was so impossible. Crane versus Spyglass Crab was like such a free win for Spyglass Crab.
Honestly, most matchups were kind of a free win for Spyglass Crab.
Yeah, there was only one matchup you actually had to try, and that was really Scorpion. Every other matchup played out the same. You slowly crushed your opponent under the weight of your Tower of Auto win.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of fate on rings here. Both players have bid 5 still. I personally, there's no advantage. Like Beck hasn't built up an advantage yet to be able to drop his bid. I actually really do like dropping my bid against Kreb. If you are presented the opportunity, Demagogue has really taught me how to do that, or like that's like his style. It actually really chokes Krab hard, especially Phoenix with libraries and storehouses, and studios.
I don't understand why you would block with the. I guess.
Well, you're forced to block with something. You could potentially block with the Dreamer and then IMS, but I don't mind this. I like this actually, just blocking and getting some studios triggers.
He was originally going to block with a 1 Fate 1, and I didn't understand why you'd block with 3 over 1. But now putting the Studious on obviously makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You do want Studious on something with 3 Fate.
And then the Dreamer should be going air at meditations.
Yeah.
I would do my military attack first because then the Crisis Breaker does not get the value.
So this is pretty huge.
Yeah, so we see a court games to honor this 3 fated. I'm absolutely not canceling this if I have one.
Yeah.
This pause is bad.
He does censure it. Okay.
There's zero world where I'm censoring that. The cards that matter in this matchup are cards that I want to censure in this matchup are Assassination, Defend Your Honor, and Fight On.
We see the assassination.
I mean, he just probably has second censure.
That's what this pause is saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like these
It
are things. These are really bad tells that if you play a clan with cancels, you need to kind of burn out of your system, where you have already established what you are or are not going to cancel. So, like for instance, I personally don't want to be canceling, and
Oh, wait, but why does Enegon play the way of the crab?
you
Obviously,
still have to make your opponent do it. The envoy's not doing anything, right? Like you're still trading. You're trading not, a card for a card because the envoy pays for the way of the crab.
yeah, that's true.
Like
Okay.
you're not losing anything in the spot here, right? Like you might as well do it.
Then
You're not
is
winning. It's not like you're winning the favor back where you can force the spot here, right?
Beck forced to?
We did see a clarity in all that. But like for instance, like the now like fight like and other things like that are more live, right? He doesn't need this thing to be honored. He can just have it be, for Paul or whatever, right? He probably has a second court games in his hand also. I hate this attack.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I absolutely do not want to be giving a fade off of my 3 faded character. I want to be doing a military attack with my 1 faded student of the Tau.
You just poke at that point, right?
Yep, I would go look for a new province. I don't break up a holding authority. I don't care if I hit Shameful Display with my 1 faded student of the Tau because the ability's still live. I can then favorable ground and stand for a favor. I don't care about hitting Manicure Garden for obvious reasons. And then next turn, I can use my student of the Tau to attack Meditations. The 1 faded one, right? Because it becomes 0.
I mean, this attack seems not great unless you have a.
So the way that Beck loses this game is he starts losing out on incremental values because he already landed the first haymaker, right? All he has to do to win this game is to lean on his opponent, and Enegon will eventually fall over, right?
How did Enegon make this attack? How did it go at Champ? I guess all the other ones are as bad.
You cannot attack. You cannot attack Saito if you hit and if you flip Kuramori, you also get fucked.
Yeah.
Butcher is just actively bad against Seeker Avoid Phoenix.
Yeah. This is a good hit.
Yeah, so like imagine if he had done this on his first attack, he then just gets to have 3 fade on this student with 2 Studiouses, right?
Yeah. Now, I mean, now Beck is just going to break 1 province a turn political.
I mean, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
I would discard all of my cards if I was Beck. I'm looking for cheap characters to buy. I'm looking.
If he's worried about
Why?
the butcher.
It doesn't what the butcher. It's only on Shameful, and you have 2 students of the Taos protecting you.
Yeah, no, you're right. He
Like-
does keep the
Like I just think that's wrong. I would much rather find a Forgotten Library or just any cheap character. Yeah, exactly. Eric points out all it can break is UA, and you're very happy of that happening.
Yeah.
Like instead of buying Ugina this turn, I would have bought Solemn Scholar and then played Tadaka. And then I would wait and I would assassinate the Student of Anatomies. Because presumably he has drawn 1 in his 14 cards. Or yeah, he should have 1 out of his 2. Let's see how many Return to Shadows Enegon has. Enegon has none. The Tower lists don't have any. Because you need a critical mass of attachments plus stands.
It seems like Beck is really
Also, you're just never going to get an unopposed attack anymore because Beck basically has the wall is put up. I mean, realistically here, the Phoenix list that we're looking at is more defensive focused than the craft list.
Yeah, and also feels as though Beck is really prioritizing.
Beck should bid 1. Yeah, both players bid 1. Perfect.
Really prioritizing the butcher though, like the Gina play instead of like I would consider Prodigy here, right? Like,
well, Ugina doesn't really work because it's gonna get Student of Anatomies, so that's why I prefer Tadaka over. Why are you pre-playing fans? I don't like pre-playing an attachment here over onto my one faded character. I would much rather have that fan on my Ugina.
do you think that he attacks Earth here or Void?
He's gonna attack Void, like almost like there's no other reason. You can't buy the Ugina and then not attack Void as your first attack. That's just like kind of griefing yourself.
I agree.
Brings an escort for court games.
You got 12 honor, right? Like, I get avoiding Watch Commander, but
I would just rather have this fan on my Ugina for a defense. Like the Student of the Tau is already big enough, and he's like we're just gonna see a token defense to prevent the honor loss. I would assassinate this Student of Anatomies.
I agree.
I would assassinate the Student of Anatomies, and then I would void and Ugina the Butcher.
Well, Eugenia's blinked.
No. Oh, he sacrificed the Vanguard Warrior. Wow, that's like pretty not desperate, but like.
No. I mean, it just means he doesn't have a reprieve, right?
Sure. Like, I mean, even a reprieve doesn't matter, right? Like, I wouldn't even let go of a reprieve if he had it because I would just let the character die.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the Eugenia just triggers. I mean, you can avoid Watch Commander, Kaiku, but I just don't want the fan on that character. Is I guess my point. Also, if this was back, okay, so there's a couple of things. If you are not going to assassinate the Student of the Anatomies this turn, you should have clouded it in draw step.
Yeah.
Then you would have gotten your Regina trigger. Then your next turn Tadaka is going to be better. Like it's just a snowball kind of thing.
Given how dead Butcher is in this matchup, you have considered voiding the Student Anatomies instead.
Yes.
Because I was thinking that would be the correct play.
What does this Butcher do? It just gets sent home over and over again.
Yeah.
Like first action, this non-faded Student of the Tower is going to trigger, or either one's going to trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Adorite. That's why I just don't understand the fan play. You don't even need. Also, the character that he would block with that would then take a Watch Commander. Oh, okay. He's gonna trigger Shameful Display here. If this was your line, I would just have done it with my Student of the Tau that's at home, or like the one that has no fate, and just gain my honor that way. Because you're just gonna put dishonor pressure on your opponent here.
He also couldn't have done that because he then has to use the favorable ground. Maybe he has.
Oh right. I forgot that the Butcher actually stops him from blocking instead of just sending it home. So yeah, now he can just send it home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured Enegon would have practiced this matchup a lot, but in my experience, Butcher is actively bad in this matchup.
He didn't really have much else to buy, right?
I mean, the turn he bought it, he had characters in his row, and he used Kyudenhita, right?
Yeah. What did he get with Kyudenhita?
Why did we put a Fine Katana on this character? It's just gonna get sent home.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Right there.
Like, am I missing something? Does he have any movement in his deck that I missed? I don't think so.
But even if he does, okay, no, he just passes.
Yeah, I mean, even if he did, right? Like, you would need to be repeatable movement because the other Student of the Tau sends you home also.
Yeah, because it's also a lion. Lion doesn't have any movement effects.
I would scout with my student. I guess you can't scout because the problem is if you ooze, he will trigger. I would just pass and just accept.
It does give him a keeper initiate.
What?
Eric is saying he could just choose not to send home and just eat the water ring because it doesn't do much. But it does give him a keeper. So that
Yeah,
could
I don't know why I wouldn't send home. The character has 0 glory. I don't need to make an attack, right? I'll break one province on political every turn.
yeah.
Like Butcher is very good in certain matchups. This is not one of them. I would actually just say he's good in the rest of the matchups. Like I actually would not even let go of this reprieve. I do not care about this character.
I think that he's going to if he has one because Beck has
But
consistently.
why?
He just is afraid of the butcher. He's consistently shown that.
But why?
I'm
Like
not. I don't think that it's correct, but that's what but that's the behavior that he's shown, right?
yeah, exactly. Like there are better there's wicked Tetsubos and Sashimonos in this deck list.
Yeah.
Like there's just no reason to be doing that. I'm pretty happy to just block with Ugina here. This is where using the Shameful Display to just honor your Ancient Master is kind of loose. It gives Enegon a free attack. Doesn't really matter though. Probably see a court games to honor Ugina. I wonder if we'll see a Defender honor. Yep.
Your honor.
I think I would bid 2 if I was Beck, and then take the draw, and then honor my character. This is like these are like minor things where it's just very obvious.
And actually, the fan would have been pretty clutch here. I mean, you're still winning this, but
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just these are small, tiny things that like you can improve upon as a player to gain advantage. Like it's very obvious Enegon is going to bid 1. All you have to do is bid 2. You give your opponent an honor, but then you get an honored character for multiple turns, right? Like the trade-off is very clearly in your favor.
why is he still keeping this favorable?
He's bad. I don't know. Like like he's gonna win. It doesn't matter. But like he's not playing as well as he should be.
Yeah.
Like is he saving it to scout? Is he saving it to scout for upholding? If that's the case, he should have been doing it. He should have done it like earlier. Or
with the unhonored.
You just do it with a mystic if you wanted. You can do it with a character and against the waves yourself. Like I want to be seeing libraries, right? Like I want to be seeing storehouses. I want to be seeing libraries to just force home my advantage while bidding 1.
This is also where attacking meditations with that student of the Tau actually sort of bites him in the ass. Because if he had one more fate on him, would have him for the stronghold push, which I assume is next turn. And now he's not going to have this giant ass student of the Tau attacking next turn, and he's definitely not going to win the game this turn, right?
Oh, he could.
Because I mean, depends on how many supernatural storms he has.
I mean, he has Tadaka also, right?
Yeah.
Enegon has 1 Mosey, and it's been played already.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. There was literally only 1 spot to even land a good one, and Beck had a censure. I do think, having played this matchup a lot, that Way of the Crab is Crab's best tool to combat the current Phoenix build. Like Way of the Crab is the trump that Crab has to force kind of pressure. Whereas when you know you're like, for instance, the Spain list doesn't have any. I know like it just makes the matchup so much easier for me as a Phoenix player.
I mean, as Jared says in chat, we did test this. It just allows you to put 4 fate on any character you want.
Yeah, like
it's very strong.
Yeah, for sure. Infinite Finesse points out this Phoenix row is so good. I mean, this is obviously this is not gonna happen, but this is one of the reasons that Consume by 5 Fire is being Seeker locked instead of actually roll lock or Elemental locked is kind of detrimental to cards like Student of the Tau and like just being able to have open rolls, right?
Hmm.
Whereas, for instance, if it was a different element, you would then have to make a real choice. It's so like I was saying say if it had to be fire roll, right? If Consume by 5 Fires is fire roll only, you lose Seeker of Void row. You then that dominoes into Student of the Tau being worse, which then dominoes into Studious becoming worse, right?
Yeah.
So like if you want Studious and Student of the Tau, you can play Seeker of Void and then you play a different card. But if you want to play Consumed, you go for 2 Fire Provinces and take some less consistency, stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because at the moment, the current Phoenix deck we're seeing is similar to what Dragon was doing, where you're taking all the best cards that get given to you and putting them in the same deck over and over again. Like this was literally just the normal Phoenix deck that added all these extra scholars, right? Like we just added these cards.
Why should Marco Shame be Firelock?
To separate it from
SBR.
SBR. I mean, technically, it should also be fire locked because its effect is a fire effect.
Well, the double honor, double dishonor thing is also an air effect. Like Mantra of Air honors you.
Yeah, I would argue that it shouldn't. based on what we have seen the elements do.
Um,
I actually think that Kuremori is more impossible to break for Crab than Shameful Kaiku. However, I will say the tower lists have a easier time breaking Kuremori because they have more political attachments. But I do find Kuremori very powerful against Crab. Enegon needs more ponchos, yeah.
what does ponchos mean?
It's height of fashion.
Oh, sure.
So I don't like this military poke because you're just giving your opponent a free attack.
I was just thinking that.
I also hate this Cloud the Mine on the student enemies this turn. Like I just don't believe that was the one card he drew. I refuse to believe that. See, I hate this attack. I hate this. Right? If he's like trying to avoid this, but like he's putting attachments onto. This is just bleeding resources, right? Like these plays only work because he is ahead.
Yeah. I agree completely. I mean, he wants to get rid of this.
All he has to do is send Ugina on this attack if you want to put attachments on it, right? Like that's all you have to do.
Yeah. That would be a perfectly okay attack as well.
I mean, Yanted, I would argue that when Scrab had Spyglass, Phoenix was a very easy win. You got around Tadaka and you just had all your cards, so you actually could just.
Oh no, he just won bids.
You just outmuscle them.
I would have considered bidding maybe S3 there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like really hung up on this dishonor pressure when he doesn't need to be.
I mean, he kind of should just break this turn.
Yeah, exactly, Mosey. I mean, Jade Tetsubo is actually a card that is so hard for Phoenix to get around. Like at Seattle, I remember that Evan and Travis had played them both. They both bought Tadakas with like 4 or 5 fate, and they actually never put him in a conflict. Because I had a Kasada with a Jade Tetsubo. Yeah, for sure, Kaiku. Like back then, like with Rebuild Iron Mine, like you had all your cards still. Like absolutely, I'm not saying that's not the case. as it turns out, Crab has gotten only worse, and Phoenix has, I wouldn't say better because Cutenasawa is so powerful, but I will definitely say it feels like Phoenix has side graded.
He just mined Mystic to get rid of Studious.
But why?
I don't understand.
Because he wants to play it in the. Who cares?
He's gonna get rid of this Bushi.
Yeah,
but why would you get rid of the Studious instead of the Ornate Fan?
Yeah, exactly. Like now you miss out on a draw.
Yeah, because you're definitely it's a card, right?
Well, I mean, if you win the conflict, it's a draw, and then also it doesn't technically it's not going to affect the leaves play, but yeah, it's a draw when your character wins the conflict, and that character is going to win a conflict.
Definitely going to win at least one political conflict.
It also doesn't matter. Like you can't remove a Uishi and have it matter because the Uishi triggers as a reaction to winning, and Ujina's reaction to claiming the ring, which is after.
I didn't realize that when I said that. Removing the Crisis Breaker seems like
also bad.
Wavy,
I don't know. That whole line of play just seemed really inefficient and like just trying to be fancy for no reason. I don't even care about that board. Like I think that 5 fires was actually kind of bad. Like obviously it looks good, right? Because your opponent's board is gonna leave, but like your board is also going to be only Ujina. Whereas if you had spent the 7 Fate and either bought Tadaka or the Suki, you then have more characters going into the next turn.
Yeah.
Like the whole way you win this matchup is you just maintain a board and you just slowly wear Crab down, and that's how you like. I don't know. I feel it feels like Beck is not as versed in the matchup as I feel he should be, maybe, or he's maybe being given lines or is taking lines that are not conducive to the most efficient way to win.
Yeah, I mean he could also just be feeling the pressure of like a World Cup game, you know?
I guess. I mean, sure.
I mean, I'm not. I still think that a lot of the things that he's doing here.
Yeah, I guess it's more that I play against Enegon all the time. So like if I played against him even in the World Cup, I would treat it like I'm just playing him again.
I agree.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, exactly, Mosey. He's playing the matchup too fast. When, like I said, like on turn 1, he literally sawed his opponent's leg, and then all he has to do is lean on him, and it will break, right? Like that's literally how you do it.
The last province shameful? It is, right?
Yeah. You're 12 honor. Who cares about Watch Commander? Why are we pre-playing stuff?
I don't understand either.
Is he just gonna go out of holding? Pre-playing makes sense if you're going out of holding.
He goes into shameful.
Yeah, I mean, going into shameful is fine. I would not have sent Ujina. I would have sent just the student of the Tau, and then if needed, once the shameful is used, you can favorable Ujina into the conflict. And then
I agree, but can we focus on what Jared just said?
Like, yeah, poor Kevin. Yeah, so like the thing is, what's gonna happen is now your Ujina is gonna get dishonored, and you're gonna end up with a dishonored Ujina for the next couple turns, as opposed to you having technically this Ujina should be honored because he should have won the Defend Your Honor against the core games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, inefficiencies that are sort of lapped up by the fact that this is very, very strong for Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're seeing some inefficient plays be covered by the more powerful plays and the provinces.
Yeah. So I would
man, Enegon's list is so bad. This matchup is so bad for him. It has 3 Censures. I just realized that.
Wait, he runs Censure?
He has 3 copies of Censure, which makes more sense if you were going to take Keeper Initiate as your RL card, right?
Yeah. Infinite Finesse, I think that it's probably CUNY Wasteland. I mean, it has to be.
No, it's Midnight Rebels. No, he has Meditations.
Meditations he already hit.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
That's fire.
Oh, so it is. So
it's Midnight Rebels.
Why though?
I don't know. I'm just telling you that's what it is.
Yeah. I agree. I totally forgot about meditations in fire. Yeah. You're right. Right, Kaiku.
Like, I know Enegon is gonna have his back against the wall, but he's even on cards, and he's about to be up 5 fate, and like, Beck's gonna have a Dishonored Eugene as his only character, right? And Beck kind of wasted his second fires, right? Like, this was his trump if the game ever spiraled where he needed to control the board again. It's gone, and he didn't really accomplish that much. He killed a Crisis Breaker. Whoop-de-doo.
I think that, I mean, looking at what's left for Enegon, he's definitely he could flip a papers next round, which would be pretty good.
Why did we assassinate this student of enemies?
We're gonna use Solemn Scholar to bow the Wishi, and
Sure, just lose the conflict.
Yeah.
Right? What if instead of using assassination, you wait, and first thing you do is you bow the Oshi? What if then Enegon plays cards, and then you can play assassination, right? By just snapping off your assassination, you make Enegon not have to play any cards.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at what's possible and left for Enegon, he actually has a pretty good character suite left. He has Student of the...
Well, he only has 7 cards left, or sorry, he has 11 Dynasty cards left.
So I assume that this is not what he wanted to see.
These aren't bad.
Not bad, but Beck has the worst.
I mean, I don't know why Beck kept the Sasako Suki. If you weren't gonna buy her last turn, you shouldn't be buying her this turn. You're looking for a bigger character.
Yeah.
But like 2 of your Studiouses are gone. Like, you don't need the Scholar. You don't need the honoring effect is not honoring a student of the Tau. I would much rather find like an Inferno Guard Invoker or something.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably box tier before I buy the Student of Anatomies.
Yeah, exactly. Jared's pointing out he traded 3 honor and a card for a fire ring, which just like the characters that were gonna get fire ringed weren't relevant, right? Because the only character that you had that was gonna stay around was already dishonored. The fire ring did not matter.
Yeah. I mean,
I think 2 fading this Witch Hunter is aggressive. I think I would have 1 faded. I actually think before I bought the Witch Hunter, I would have used Kyudinida.
Oh, he's worried about decking.
Yeah, I guess that is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a Season of War from just dying.
Yeah.
And there are 2 Season of Wars left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Phoenix card advantage here, right? Like, both players have bid exactly the same for draws, but Phoenix has drawn 8 more cards.
I assume that, I mean, like Beck has to have a Tadaka left in his hand, right? And that he has 7.
Yeah, unless both of them were, within his bottom 6. But like, I feel like he's had a Tadaka. Like, imagine if he had played Tadaka last turn, where he then can force a much better attack. He doesn't have to do this random Mia Mystic sacrifice play.
I think that he's going to cloud this Steadfast Witch Hunter.
To be fair, Tomoya, one of those attachments requires you to win a conflict and has to go on a much worse character type than another one, and it also only draws you a card versus looks and selects.
Yeah, it's not. It's
if the I will say if we had disguised Scholar, then Studious probably gets really yeah. I think that Studious is closer to fair than Spyglass and Tactical Ingenuity are. Should Studious exist? No, but I think on the spectrum of attachments to draw you cards, Studious is the closest we've seen to a in quotation marks reasonable one. Obvious, like I just don't. Probably shouldn't have the line of sincerity. And then I think it's probably closer.
Played a Tadaka into this. Oh, he's playing a court games into double Watch Commander.
Man, imagine if he had not let go that random
Breathe.
the random reprieve that didn't matter. Why did we play a Tadaka? Okay, this actually annoys me. Why do you care? He has to have an against the waves, right? Like another. He's only played one against the waves.
He definitely has an against the waves.
Yeah, so why not just pre-play Tadaka?
Yeah.
Like obviously it's gonna get bowed by Revels, but then your Regina is still standing.
Regina is 4 versus 5 versus 7.
Well, then you just against the waves your Tadaka.
Yeah.
All right, so Tadaka should look at his entire hand. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, exactly. I would remove every single one of my dynasty characters and look at my opponent's hand.
Enegon right now is just going to blank Tadaka, right?
Does that not lose him the conflict? Or like is that's dangerous?
You get rid of the Vanguard Warrior, right? And you're already losing the conflict.
Sure, but like that's just like another skill. I don't know, that it's kind of risky. I guess it depends on what my hand is.
Yeah.
So we see IMS onto Tadaka. So he just needs 2 more skill to.
3 Supernatural Storms.
What'd you say?
How many Supernatural Storms does this deck run?
It should be 3.
So if he has 1 Supernatural Storm, he just wins this, right?
He has an against the waves. He's winning.
Yeah, that's true.
Against the waves represents 4 skill.
Whereas the 3, yeah.
He needs to be very careful on how he navigates this conflict, so he doesn't like get to a spot where he doesn't actually break and then gets to like 1 honor or some stupid. Like that's literally the way he can lose the game.
Yeah.
Well, so he would have had to poncho. He would have had to poncho pre-conflict because for whatever reason, Height of Fashion cannot be played during a conflict.
It's +4 skill. That's
just too strong.
Too strong to play in the middle of a conflict.
However, Jade Tetsubo is not too powerful to play in the middle of a conflict.
Okay, to be honest, I feel as though most attachments should be played pre-conflict.
I don't think so, because you have to commit then. Like yeah. it would make conflict. It would make them worse. Are you saying like as a balancing thing?
Yeah.
Oh sure. Then I would agree. Why did we let go? Why did we let go before playing the court games?
If you have to let go, what are you doing?
Why did he just lost an extra honor for no reason?
Yeah, the sequencing here doesn't make any sense. Better. I mean, he's basically saying he has to win here. And I do think that he has to win.
Yeah. Like he's gonna win, but like the amount of inefficiencies that this game has been really, really troubling.
Wow. Yeah, I also don't think that you should have played the.
Why did we play the other storm? Wasn't he already breaking?
Was.
Yeah, we played a storm. Stop playing cards. You are already breaking.
I don't understand. Okay, well he wins.
Sure. I'm actually kind of annoyed that Beck won that game.
It definitely was like there definitely were a lot of inefficient plays.
Like, obviously he won on the 5-fires, but also the way he navigated the rest of the game was very inefficient, and it was very annoying to see.
Enegon definitely brought about his own demise.
Yeah, I don't think Enegon did the best job he could to play around known information, right? Like your opponent is playing fires, it's highly likely, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Eric, this matchup, like you saw the problem in the matchup, right? It's these here. Like, if Beck played this poorly against like Scorpion or something, or like maybe like a matchup that is harder, then I don't think it's as good. However, Phoenix has a lot of like all the matchups Phoenix had that were hard got nerfed. So at this point that statement's probably not true.
Even
Can't,
before the Scorpion RL, I found Phoenix very hard to beat.
yeah, but I mean I would still beat every random Phoenix that I played against.
Yeah, sure, but you wouldn't beat like Canada's up 2-0. I still think that like against an equal level Phoenix or better, I mean like it's just so fucking hard.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
I agree. I was very confident in the matchup. I'm just saying that
My only loss last Discord League was to just Phoenix, and he like flipped an Ancestral Shrine. It's like cool. Well, I hope I flip the Season of War.
yeah,
and
yeah.
I ventured it, and I was like, cool. Fuck my life.
Indeed.
And that is how I lost that game.
That's true, Tomoya. I have picked Greece to win the World Cup 3 years in a row, and they have always let me down. So they're just living up to expectations here.
Just like a disappointed father.
I am. I mean, I'm disappointed in both my children here, in Enegon and Beck, because Beck's playing my deck list, and then also Enegon is one of my really good friends. So I was just a disappointed father all around. All right. Well, anyways, thanks folks for joining us. Stay tuned. I know all these top 4 matches are going to get streamed, hopefully, and we're going to bring you more and more action. The current scores are Spain is up 1-0, and then Canada is up 2-0.
I'm around all day, by the way, if there's any more games.
I will let you know. I'm going to go back to playing Diablo 3 with Will, so I will go do that.